Okay, so we're going to talk about x and y intercepts for a quadratic. If you want to find the y-intercept, then you're finding f of 0. So for ours, it's going to be 3 times 0 squared plus 5 times 0. You don't really have to write all that out because that's going to go to 0, that's going to go to 0, and you're going to get negative 2. So the y-intercept is the point 0, negative 2. To find x-intercepts, you're going to take your function, 3x squared plus 5x minus 2, and set it equal to 0. Now that's a quadratic function that we can solve. You could use the quadratic formula. I'm going to go ahead and factor this. So I'm going to go through the AC method. I want to multiply to be negative 6 and add to be 5. And those two numbers are going to be 6 and negative 1. So I'm going to go 3x squared plus 6x minus 1x minus 2 equals 0. And factor out the 3x. Factor out the negative 1. Or you could use trial and error. And you get, well, I usually write it this way, x plus 2 and 3x minus 1. So I get x values, oops. Scroll. Why isn't it scrolling? There it goes. X could be negative 2 or 1/3. So my x-intercepts, there's two of them, not surprising for a parabola, and they are negative 2, 0, and 1/3, 0. Those would be the x-intercepts. Okay. This next problem says find the x-intercepts. They don't care about the y-intercept this time. The y-intercept's negative 4, but they just want to know the x-intercepts. And so we want to set that function, 2x squared plus 4x minus 4 equals 0. Now, you could factor out a 2. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Let's just divide both sides by 2. Why not? And you get x squared plus 4x. No, you don't get that. All right. I was going to divide by 2. Sorry about that. Okay, so we're going to just divide by 2. Oops. Divide by 2 on both sides. And then I get x squared plus 2x minus 2 equals 0. But this does not factor. Okay, so we're going to go to the quadratic formula. The opposite of b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So our b is 2. A is 1. C is negative 2. And a is 1. So I'm going to get, these quadratic formulas take a lot of room. For, let's see, plus 8 over 2, which is going to be negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 12 over 2. And then that breaks down because the 12 breaks down into 4 times 3. So you got negative 2 plus or minus 2 square root 3 over 2. But then that simplifies because you can divide them both by 2. You could write it this way. Might be easier to see. And then cancel the 2's. And so you get x-intercepts. You're going to have one at negative 1. Well, I was going to do the minus first. All right. Oops. Negative 1 minus the square root of 3, comma 0. And negative 1 plus the square root of 3, comma 0. And those are going to be the x-intercepts. They're real numbers. They're not imaginary numbers, so it is crossing the x-axis. They're just irrational solutions.